Have you ever tried to get closer to someone and when it finally felt real, they pulled away? They either got cold or shut down or made you feel like you were the problem. Avoidants don't all react the same way, but most follow one of the four emotional patterns. And the type of avoidant you were dealing with, that explains a lot for me as a coach to give you accurate advice. From the research I've done, there are three common avoidant types. The dismissive avoidant, I call them the DA, the fearful avoidant, or the confuser, and the high functioning avoidant, the one I call the manager. And each avoidant reacts differently when closeness starts to feel unsafe. In today's video, I'm going to break that down. The four avoidant reactions when you get too close and what they actually mean. The first reaction is the disappearing act. Here's a comment from one of my viewers. My FA just up and disappeared, muted me from her stories too. For me, this is classic dismissive avoidant behavior. They disconnect emotionally before they actually disappear. No drama, no closure, just gone. The confuser does this too, but only after a trigger. For the DA, this is a routine. To them, silence feels safe. To you, it feels like abandonment. So for this comment, you might have been dealing with a dismissive avoidant, especially if there weren't any triggers that immediately caused this response. The second reaction is the blame flip, and here's a comment from one of my viewers. They are flaw finders and blame shifters. It's super short, but I want to get the point across that many people say this, and this is the one that was the most concise. And for me, this is the manager's move. They keep control by making you the problem. And this has a lot to do with the toxic shame that they feel. You express a need, and suddenly you're too needy. You ask for time and now you're too clingy. They blame you so they never have to face their own fear of closeness. Many of the times when people experience someone that's doing this, they struggle to not believe that that person is a narcissist. And for me, I believe that narcissists can be a lot more hurtful and cutting when they do the blame shifting and the deflection that they put back on you. It's a defense mechanism. And I'm not making excuses for avoidance, but there's always this little child that comes out that feels that toxic shame that they have a hard time facing. I've seen this over and over with manager types, the ones that are severe dismissive avoidance. So I'm curious. I want you to comment down below if you felt like you've dealt with someone that's more of a manager type. The third reaction is the hide and cold shift. Here's a viewer's comment. First few months are great when you get to know them, but afterwards, when things get serious, you see them run. And from experience, that person right there is the confuser, the fearful avoidance. They come on strong. They may call you their soulmate. They may open up extremely fast, making, things look a little bit yellow flaggish, and then they pull away just as fast. This has a lot to do with their overactive nervous system. They want love, but the moment it feels real, that's when their nervous system starts to freak out. I talk a lot about how fearful avoidance can be the more volatile attachment style because they're always hot and cold, up and down. And I actually heard a really world-renowned narcissist expert talk about this. And she felt that the anxious attachers were more of the people who resemble narcissism. But for me, I think it might be on the line of the fearful avoidant because some of the things that they can do is so quickly, it feels like a discard. And I've had a lot of clients come to me extremely dysregulated because they felt like they were discarded in a way. But the main issue with a fearful avoidant is they don't stay gone. They usually have this trauma response pull away, and then they come back stronger than they did before. The fourth reaction is the emotional shutdown. Here's an example. You send a long, vulnerable message, and they reply with just, okay, or thumbs up. This is classic dismissive avoidant again. Managers do this too, but in a different way. Instead of going cold, they intellectualize things. So they stay calm, distant, and emotionally removed. They're managing their emotions for you, but also they want you to get yourself under control. Either way, you're left feeling alone, feeling disconnected, and feeling like you're loving someone who's not even there. They make it really easy for you to feel like you're in a relationship alone. If you're someone that's trying to heal from anxious attachment, then get into a relationship with someone who's a manager because they can actually help you when they're not even trying to self-regulate, learn how to self-soothe. Because most of the time you're going to feel like you're in a relationship alone when you're in a relationship with them. But here's what I want you guys to understand, no matter what type of avoidant you're dating or someone that you may have been broken up with. Avoidants don't usually pull away because you're too much. Now, that can be the case, but most of the time it's not. They pull away because closeness feels too much. So that doesn't mean you should keep proving yourself. It means it's time to stop explaining your worth to someone who's afraid to receive it. I get a good amount of viewers who are confused after they date someone who has an avoidant attachment style. So I'm curious to know, which type of avoidant did you date? And if you're interested to start breaking this cycle today, you can book a call with me below. The link is in the description. And if you found this video of any value, please like, comment, and share. If you want to work with me one-on-one, my website is www.fruitfulseeds.com. And you can reach out to me on my other social media accounts. Instagram is I am Coach Court. TikTok is Coach Court. Facebook is Coach Court. And always remember, when you go be loved, you'll never have to find it. God bless.